Okay, this is question 3, and it's all about bearings and triangles and things. So it says the diagram shows the position of 3 boats. We've got P, Q, and R. Boat Q is 7 kilometers from P on a bearing of 327. So I'm going to mark that bearing in first. Oops. So it says from P, which means we have to go from P, which is here, and from the north line clockwise. So it goes round like that until you hit the line that takes you to Q. So that is 327 degrees. Then it says boat R is 15 from P. So this is also from P on a bearing of 41. So we need to go from this north line until we hit the line that goes to R. And that's a bearing of 41. So that is 41 degrees there. So with that information, we could instantly work out what this angle is. So looking at the angle 327, I could just do 360 minus 327, and that tells me that that angle there is 33 degrees. So I've used the information that they've given me, but I don't really know what they want me to do yet. It does say find the distance between boats Q and R. So that is this distance here. When we're dealing with triangles, particularly not right-angled triangles and distances and angles, this screams cosine rule. So just a reminder of the cosine rule, if we had a triangle, looks like that, and I label the angles and then I label the opposite sides like that, the cosine rule says this. So I'm going to use that to try and work out what this missing length QR is. So let's say that missing length is called P. Using the cosine rule, we've got P squared. And then let's say the other lengths are Q and R. So we've got Q squared plus R squared minus 2QR cos, and the angle that's opposite the side I want is P. So that's whatever side here is the opposite angle here. Okay? So let's fill in those numbers. Now P squared, don't know what that is. Call it P squared. Q, let's say, is that one, so 15 squared, and R is 7, so 7 squared, minus 2 times 15 times 7 times cos of the angle P. Now where I'm going to find this angle is by adding together these two. So 33 and 41. A bit of quick maths tells me that's 74. So that's 74, that angle. So I just got to work this out now and work out what P squared is. If I simplify all of that, or just put all of that into my calculator, I'll get that P squared is this, and therefore P, which is the length QR, which is what I'm looking for, is the square root of that, which is 14.7, and that's to 1 decimal place, which is what they asked for. Okay, that's part A. In part B, this is where you have to think a little bit carefully. In part B, it says find the 3-figure bearing of boat O from Q. So I'm going to go from Q, from the north line, until I hit R, which is that. So what's that bearing? That's what they're asking for. Well, I could work out what this angle is here. And the only other thing I can think of really using is the sine rule. So the sine rule says this. I've got sine A over A equals sine B over B, and if I wanted to use a third side, it's sine C over C. So what I'm going to do is draw a simplified version of this triangle, because there's a lot going on the triangle now. So I'm just going to redraw that triangle and mark in the things that I want, really. So this is the angle Q that I'm looking for at the moment. The angle down here I know is 74, and for the sine rule I just need two angles and two sides that are opposite each other. So I know that that length is 15, and I've just worked out this length in part A. So just using the sine rule now, I can say that sine Q over 15 equals sine 74 over 14.7. That's nice, because now I can just do a bit of rearranging. Sine Q is this, and my calculator can tell me that Q is then 78.77 degrees. Okay, so I've got an angle. I've got that this angle is 78.77, but how does that help me find the other missing angle? Well, if I extend this line, then I know that all the angles along this line should add up to 180 degrees. But what's this angle? Well, if I remember back from GCSE days, I can see that this must be the same as this angle down here, because these are corresponding angles, or what we used to call F angles. So that is 33 degrees. I now have got everything I need to find this blue angle. Okay, so I know that my 33 degrees plus my mystery angle that I'm looking for plus the 78.77 needs to add up to 180 degrees, because they're all on a straight line. So mystery angle is 180 minus the other two, and that tells me the answer is 68 degrees. So the three-figure bearing, which is what they want, the three-figure bearing is going to be 068 degrees. Okay, that's it.